dream that he went to Egypt.
What?
Somebody said this is gold.
Can they see us?
They can see us.
Oh.
All right, we have sound now, guys.
The sound is on now.
And where's Bill Dawes? Where's Bill?
We
Fuckers
need
hear a
Bill.
I think this is a testament to the loyal listeners of Liars Club
Yes, it is.
that they have stuck with us this long.
Yes, right.
I'm including myself in the family after just a few minutes on the show.
Jesus.
By the way, I was in there. You look great on camera.
Thank you.
You look really good.
I appreciate that.
You look better on
All
camera.
right.
than you do in
Recording
person.
sound.
I look
Hello
better,
out
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Camera.
And
Good to hear you guys again.
we're back.
That was not a compliment.
There you go. So Bill was telling us about flying to Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, to do a comedy festival.
Comedy
And
festival.
you get there, and what happens?
So it's called Jeddah Season, and they spent like $1 billion on it. And anyway, the Laugh Factory portion gets canceled. Am I allowed to say Laugh Factory here? Anyway, so I'm stuck in Jeddah, and there's nothing to really do there except for walk around. So I decided I'm going to go to Egypt, which is about an hour flight. I got up like 5 a.m. I go to Cairo because I wanted to see the Great Pyramid. You got to do a visa. There's a whole process. I get a tour guide. We go to the museum, and then we go to the pyramids. It's like 3 o'clock. We're kind of under the gun here. And when we get there, and I said this kind of earlier, but the pyramids are kind of like right there. Like you drive up, there's a part. You don't get there in a camel. You get there in like a Honda. You know what I mean? So, and right away I'm disappointed because it just feels very urban and touristy. And there's a gift shop, and there's street vendors everywhere. There are more street vendors than are tourists, basically. This is on Saturday. So I'm looking around. I'm kind of climbing up the pyramids, like the first few blocks of the pyramids.
They're pretty tall blocks, right?
Yeah, they're pretty.
It's not like steps.
Yeah, you kind of like push yourself and get up for the first couple blocks. And I'm by myself, so I'm like, I need someone to like film me. There's only. This sounds so racist. There's only 2 other white people.
Oh, no. It can't sound any more racist than it was way too urban for me. But you've already said that, so just keep on burying yourself.
So there's 2 other white people there, and they're like this little couple, and they're from some.
Not that you were counting.
Not that I was counting, but it was very dark. Things were very Islam-may, let's say. And
Jesus.
by the way, Islamophobia is terrible in America. In Egypt is a good policy. So and the tour guide says be careful of the street vendors because they're
Do it in a
pickpockets.
racist accent. When you do the tour guide.
Well, okay, I can't even imagine how to do it. Because right away I sound Indian. Be careful of that. That's not how
No,
I
no,
sound.
no,
Okay.
don't do that.
So,
don't do that.
I'll do the Dave Chappelle. I'm Chinese. Anyway, so they go, be careful of the street vendors. They're very aggressive. They come up, they're like, hey, they're trying to sell you their wares. So I want pictures and I want like a video. Because if it's not on Instagram, how do you prove it?
Right.
So I get this couple to video me kind of climbing up the first blocks of the pyramid. And there's a whistle, like a couple whistles. And the tour guy's like, you can't climb up on the pyramid at all. I was like, but other people are doing it, whatever. I get off. I take pictures of them. We go back and forth. I'm walking away with my phone. We're going to go to the back to see the Sphinx and the other bullshit pyramids. And I hear people in Arabic, like loud voices. I look over at this little couple. I see a guy reaching for her purse. And I'm like, oh, my God, the street vendor's harassing her. So I go, hey, what are you doing? And I go over and I grab this guy's forearm like this. And when I did, it was like all hell broke loose. Like he starts screaming. Other people start coming around, and I'm going to get jumped. Then cops come. The cops are all plainclothes cops. You know they're cops because they have guns like tucked into their pants. And so they're like yelling at me. I'm going, I did nothing. I didn't do anything wrong. And they're asking me for my passport. They're like, give me your passport. I go, why? Why? I go, give me your passport. And they have guns. So I go, okay, fine. Here's my passport. And they go, and they confer, and they look at my passport. Like, give me your phone. Give me your phone. And now I'm going like, why the fuck do they want my phone? This is messed up. And I'm like,
They
no,
want
I'm not.
you to follow them
I'm
on
not
Instagram.
I'm like, I'm not going to give you my phone. And they're like getting real, and they're surrounding me, and they're aggressive. And I don't know who's a street vendor, who's a cop. So eventually I'm like, fine. There's nothing on my phone other than the video of me climbing up the pyramids, which is like, if it's an infraction, it's a whatever. So I give him my
18
phone.
lashes to the back or something.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I give him my phone, and they're going through it, and I give the password. So I give them the password.
God.
And they're just going over my phone, and I'm going, what do I have on my phone? Like what pictures, what stuff? And they're just going through all my photos.
Are they laughing at some or going, oh, that's cute? Or,
No, they're just all very serious, like going through.
Oh no!
You know, like
Did
expand.
they
Anyway,
see dick pics?
I don't know. There is definitely a dick pic in there.
Who sent it to you?
Huh? I sent it to myself to remind me of the golden days when my dick looked like that. Anyway, it's like I have like one dick pic from like 6 years ago from
Is
a long.
that the one you just keep using over and over?
Yeah,
and over?
why take a new one? It's like a perfect headshot, no pun intended. Why do a new session?
That'd be terrible if someone was sucking your dick and they were like, "Oh, your dick." Why
Well,
do
look,
you use
the
that?
This isn't the one in the picture.
yeah, this is
The
This
only-
has been through way more hell than the one in the picture.
Let's be honest. The only dick pic you're going to use is the one that doesn't really look like your dick. It looks like a better, improved 2.0 dick. Anyway, so but there's like one maybe. I mean, well, definitely, but like way in the back in my photo log. So they're going through, and then they go, "Come with us." And I get into a cop car, and they drive down to.
This is like an episode of Locked Up Abroad. Like these dudes, that's
exactly
jacked up, dude.
So they drive down to the precinct, which is just like 50 yards down the street. And I go in the precinct, and I'm like, I'm just going to charm these guys. Then I go, oh, this is a shakedown. This is a classic shakedown. I'm a Westerner. I'm blonde. I'm like, duh. They're going to just get me for
I know,
money.
but don't you get, because I've had that happen to me in a different country, don't you get where you're like, oh, it's a shakedown, but then do I get in more trouble if it's not a shakedown? Or I think it's
Right.
a shakedown?
I
Yeah.
hope it's a shakedown.
And they
Yeah,
slowly
yeah,
are taking
yeah,
things
yeah,
from
yeah.
you, so
Yeah.
you're kind of at some point you can't really defend yourself.
Exactly. So, and by the way, nobody in Egypt speaks English. Like 10 students do, maybe. So none of the cops spoke English. Finally, a detective comes. He sits down next to me, like obviously playing the good cop. He's like, so, we look at your phone. We see all these pictures. And he shows me pictures on my phone. I have pictures of my ass out in front of monuments. I have a picture of me with my ass out in front of Buckingham Palace, and there's like a beefeater with a straight face, and my ass like, meh, and I think it's funny. And there's one where I'm at the Andy Warhol Museum with a painting of butts. My butt's out like, meh. So they're they're not necessarily legal.
Do you put those on Instagram?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
my parents aren't on Instagram, so it's perfect. So, but people say, what the fuck are you doing with that? And then meanwhile, I get 1,000 likes. I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing it. I just got to bring the heat. I can't tell who's watching. So anyway, so they're like, it's like for what? I go, oh, it's funny. I go for what? They go, do you have one of these in front of the pyramids? And I go, no. You can look at my phone. I don't have any. And they go, well, how do we know you didn't post it? I go, well, you look at my Instagram. Nothing's posted on Instagram. So how do you know you didn't send it to someone and it's pending? So I'm going, and now it makes sense because there is almost no Wi-Fi in Cairo. It's like a 2K network, like whatever, like nothing uploads. So I'm thinking, oh, for some reason they think I sent it and it's going to be pending, and once I leave, it's going to be all over the internet. So I keep so I'm like, it's fine, it's not happening, and they're like, okay, we have to do more research. And I'm thinking, like, what research are they going to do? And they're like, well, you're on Instagram. Oh, verified, Instagram. They're impressed. And then verified. I'm like, oh, cool. So they're not going to murder me if I'm verified, I guess. And they're like, have you tweeted anything or put on Facebook anything that's anti-Egyptian or anti-Islamic? And I'm like, no, but I definitely have. So, well,
I was thinking I would be screwed. Like way before I came here, though.
Yeah.
Like way before I came, I was doing it from home.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, exactly. But the thing is, a friend of mine who's spent a lot of time in Saudi Arabia is like, bring a burner phone. Don't bring your real phone, because your phone from America that's nice and safe will be used against you.
This is getting all cloak and dagger.
I
Yeah.
know.
Burner
So
phones and
I'm like,
fake
I'm like,
accounts.
this is cool. It's not a big deal. I'm there for like 2 hours, and meanwhile, there's no computers or laptops. They're scribes, so they're just writing memos down. Everyone's chain smoking. And I'm telling my story, and then they're like on their phone. And I swear to God, I hear like my N-word video that I did. I don't know if you ever saw this video, like how a white man says the N-word, and they're playing it, and then they're playing my podcast. I'm like, what the fuck is going on there? And I'm trying to be like, I'm like, I'm a comic. They're like, for what? For what? Why with the butt? Why? And I go,
With the what?
I go, it's funny. And they're literally looking at my phone and they go, for what? For what? Why? So that goes on for a couple hours. And then finally they go, okay, come with us. I go into a cop like truck, and two thugs on either side, and these are like the standard thug that you'd see in like a Mexican cartel or anywhere. They're just like little bulldogs, and they're just really quiet, and they're short, but they can murder you with like a bare hand. We drive about an hour and a half outside of Giza to some weird city called 6th of October City.
Nope, I'm out.
And we go to an abandoned building. They take me to an abandoned building.
No.
With a wrought iron like gate and people like armed guards in front. They lead me in. We walk up these concrete steps. I'm telling you, this building is like rubble. There's PVC piping. There's cinder blocks. Walk up 5 flights, and I just wait there with 5 guys surrounding me. Finally, after like an hour of waiting there, someone opens the door. Everyone stands up, and I go into this room with apparently the chief prosecutors of Cairo. These 3 guys in suits, and I'm like, okay, I feel safe now because they speak English. One of them speaks English really well. I'll be fine. They go, okay, you can call the embassy now, or we'll handle it here. And I'm thinking, I haven't done anything wrong. And if I did, it's like I climbed up a couple blocks in the pyramid, so big deal. So like an idiot, I go, okay, we'll just handle it here. Look, I thought the Arab Spring actually happened. I didn't know what the fuck was going on in Egypt. So same thing. They're getting my statement. They're looking at pictures for what? Why do you take these pictures for what? And they keep worrying that I'm going to do, I posted something anti-Islamic, or I posted these somewhere on the internet, and they have to find it. And I keep telling them I'm not doing it. I swear to God, I'm not doing it. This goes on for like 4 hours. They go, wait outside. I wait outside. They come back in, and they go, you've been charged with assaulting an officer. So apparently the guy was reaching for this woman's phone. And meanwhile, that couple had left.
Uh-huh.
The guy was a cop,
Right.
apparently. I'm guessing.
Uh-huh.
And they said disturbing the peace. And they said lewd behavior. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I'm going, am I going to jail? And they said the fine is 10,000 Egyptian pounds. I'm like, oh my God, what? $600, not a big deal. They go, you pay it and you can leave, but if you stay, you're going to prison. So basically, like, you're banned from Egypt.
Right, so it was a shakedown.
Shakedown, great. I go back. I'm like, oh, hey, guys. It's because you think, like, they're like, oh, welcome to Cairo. I'm like, oh, they're friends. We're all fun. It's cool. I go back to the precinct in Giza, and I wait. And I wait. And I wait. And no one speaks English. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Now it's another day. They don't feed me. They're only giving me tap water. And I'm just sitting in the corner of the precinct, like, what the fuck is going on? This was Saturday, Saturday at 3 o'clock when this happened. Now it's Sunday. Now it's Sunday night. And now it's like Monday at like 4 a.m. and I'm still there. And I'm like starting to like lose my mind. And then some guy shows up and he goes, what are you doing here? And I go, I don't know. Can you help me? He goes, why? I go, I don't know. I think I did something. Help me out. He goes, I'll take care of it. He gets President Mubarak's former lawyer on the phone, and like later that morning, and he goes, Mubarak's lawyer is going to come. He's going to save you. He's going to get you out of here. I wait a couple more hours. The guy shows up, and he's like, you. I go, yeah, help me. How do I get out? And he goes, eh? He doesn't speak any fucking English. And he gives me like a Google Translate. I go, help me. How do I get out of here? And he goes, ah. And he writes something, gives back, and it says, look at the walnuts. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is like the dumbest thing I've ever. I was like, I don't know what's going on. So I finally got on the phone with the real lawyer, Mubarak's lawyer. This guy was an associate. And he goes, look, this is what happened, man. 6 months ago, a couple climbed up the top of the pyramid and fucked. And they made a video of it. And they took photos of it in the middle of the night. And they posted on YouTube. And they got away with it. And the Egyptian government is waiting for anybody to do anything like that. So they're terrified that's going to happen. So that's why you're just caught in the crosshairs of that. So anyway, because I know you're looking at, we've got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
So
This story is almost as long as you spent in Egypt.
I know.
This
So
is-
anyway,
Tell our stories in real time.
they deport me.
Fuck, I want to get Google Translate
they-
out.
they-
How do we make this story end?
They have to go to immigration. They deport me, and I go to. There's obviously a lot more. I go to the airport and I fly out to Paris that night.
So you paid the 600
I paid $600, and I had to pay Mubarak's lawyer $2,000 afterwards.
American,
Wow.
2,000 American.
Yeah, $2,000 American.
Wow.
So it was an expensive journey.
By the way, tap water in Egypt is perfectly fine to drink.
It's from the Nile.
Yeah, it's from the Nile.
Ugh, it was like grainy. You could feel like the sand in
There's
it.
probably quinoa everywhere. It's an ancient grain.
I shit so much the next few days.
Well, I'm sorry if if that's true and that happened to you, I'm very sorry that happened to you.
But if it's not true-
if it's not true.
Thanks for wasting
But
our time.
unfortunately, you only have time now for that one story. So we're just gonna have to guess because your story was 6
God damn
stories
it.
long. That's all right.
Jesus Christ! No, that's a crazy story, and
A lot of detail.
Yeah, there's so much detail in that, and so I have. Are there any questions online? If anyone is still playing along, because we had.
Fuck this
technical-
guy.
Well, I do want to say we have some folks watching that are big fans of the Church of What's Happening Now with our friend Joey Diaz. So welcome, guys.
Welcome,
And,
welcome.
Dennis Hyde from that group says that this dude looks like a nice Gordon Ramsay. So I don't know
I appreciate that.
I don't know if
see
he's
that.
believable in that sense or what, but Steven says, the good old Samaritan catfish story.
Yes, yes.
This could be one of those stories with a lot of detail that he knows well, that he could have seen on Locked Up Abroad, that a friend could have told him, but didn't happen to
I
him.
believe the first half of that story is absolutely true. You probably did go to a gig at the Laugh Factory. and got
Well,
canceled.
we know he's done USO work
Right,
before.
right, yeah. No, and he's a favorite at the Laugh Factory, so I get it.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
all
yeah.
seems to be very true, but I think, and probably we're bummed that the pyramids were in a parking lot and all that kind of stuff. How did you hire the tourist guide? And after the tourist guide, after you were arrested, what happened to the guide?
Great
They-
question.
Great question. They kept him at the precinct in Giza before we went to the 6th of October city, and they just asked him some questions. It was all in Arabic, so I don't really know what he said and what happened. But they let him go after a couple hours.
He probably said, "Fuck this ginger, I'm
Yeah.
out."
Yeah, and he was definitely not happy with me when he walked out.
When you
Yeah.
went to that warehouse, the 6th of October
Yeah, city.
place, I thought for sure the story was going to be they made you do a comedy show. They saw you because they listened to the podcast and they heard the.
I don't think they get comedy in Egypt yet. I don't know, maybe.
Wow. Well, interesting story, and we'll move it right along. And Jordan, it's your turn. Please, not as long.
No, I'll make it. I'll make it really quick.
Okay.
Really quick. So I direct commercials.
Bullshit. Okay, sorry.
I direct commercials for a living. That's my livelihood. And I've done thousands, literally. You mentioned the boot camp, and people can learn more at commercialdirectingbootcamp.com, but that's not part of my story.
That was slick. That was slick.
So I did a commercial. I work a lot with kids, and I do like packaged good spots. And so you integrate the comedy, and it's light comedy. Well, I did a spot for Dole fruit cups, now packed in real fresh water, not corn syrup.
Okay.
Right? Now this never made
But
it to air.
real fresh.
Real fresh.
Okay.
And the whole sell was it's packed in fresh water. So we shot in San Diego at the SeaWorld, and we used Timmy, a bottlenose dolphin, to be in the pool with kids eating the fruit cups in their plastic cups in the pool. And Timmy the dolphin on cue is supposed to come up and wave and go, like they do at the end of the thing. And it was a cute bit.
Right.
So we shoot the close-ups of the kid. We shoot the product shot where the kids eat it. Then we set for the wide shot. And Timmy the dolphin's supposed to come up on cue and go, ah. Timmy the dolphin.
Is this a Me Too story?
It kind of is. Timmy the dolphin
Me too.
is not performing. And I'll make it quick. He's getting anxious, according to the SeaWorld trainer. And she says, after a couple takes where I'm like, hey, this was supposed to be routine. This dolphin does this every day at the park. She said, I need to manually release him, and then he'll be able to perform. So in front of the kids, over on the side
She's been
of
married
the tank,
before.
she jerks off the dolphin like it's no big deal. Like we're covering the kids, get the kids out of the pool. Send the
Right.
kids back to the trailer.
Yeah, who wants to swim around in that? For
Well,
sure.
They actually
They already are.
They actually have a procedure to collect it
Oh yeah.
for artificial insemination with the
Yeah,
other
they use
dolphins,
like cow vaginas.
maybe other species.
How
I
long
don't
did it
know.
take her to jerk off the dolphin? She said with a straight face.
I'm going to say about 3 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, so
Sounds
the
about right.
dolphin
Good
got
for
back
him.
in the water. Timmy performed on cue. The kids came back in like, what was happening with Timmy? Because they
Yeah.
got to pet him and do the whole
Right.
thing. The dolphin never approached the kids. It's like the dolphin knew that was inappropriate. So it really was well behaved with the children.
Well, that's good.
But I think that the dolphin and the trainer had a special bond. And I think the dolphin was like just kind of fucking with the trainer to get the hand job. That's my theory. That's my theory.
Yeah.
Like he's like, nah, I'm gonna play hard to get.
It's like the dolphin was married before too.
Yeah, they both knew exactly what was happening.
Wow.
So we got the shot and we parted ways.
Got the shot, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Did you actually watch her jerk the dolphin off?
How could I not?
Yeah.
Did
and
you
what
film
it-
it?
Can you do what? Can you show us what it looked like in
The
the
dolphin's
air?
face
yeah.
when he
In the
came?
air.
in the air,
No, in
like
the
air
air.
guitar.
Oh, you mean how she
The-
did it?
Yeah,
how did
like-
she do
Oh
it?
no, it was a stroke right under the water, and she fingered the blowhole.
Oh, shut the
No,
fuck up.
that part's a lie. I made that part up. She didn't finger the blowhole, but that's like you're comedians. That's a funny.
That's a good
she
joke.
pokes it and he gagged.
She gave me a cigarette
Means deeper.
afterwards.
Yeah, that's great.
Matthew Bowen says, "Hey, dolphins got decent lives in captivity after all." Like it.
Yeah, poor. What is the killer whale? Has that the thing that? Then I wonder
Oh,
if they
the-
jerk
oh, yeah.
off the killer whales.
Killiman.
Yeah. Do you think they jerk off killer whales too, or just
Probably.
dolphins?
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that would take a team of trainers.
3 minutes though. Well, and I love that. That's a great first story, and you had a great first story too as well, Bill. And any questions online other than that?
Nope.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it right now. Dennis Hyde says he might head over and see your shameless plug of a website.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very
Sign
nice.
up right away.
What about you, Michael Evans?
Stephen Scott says, "Well, now I want to be a marine biologist." And also, he just said that it's funny. The name of that whale was actually Tillicum,
Tillicum.
which is hilarious for
Till I
what-
come, yeah.
Till I come.
Till I come, I'm not going to work.
I don't know if I'm just being a sucker here, but I believe the shit out of both first stories.
Yeah, they're both pretty damn convincing. I gotta say,
I'm,
both pretty good.
I'm gonna hold my judgment until I hear Bill's second story.
Well, question for Bill. Can I ask
Okay.
Bill a question?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did they hurt you at all when when it happened and when you touched the cop? Did they rough you up?
No, they didn't. I mean, I was just backpedaling the whole time, but they were like screaming at me and stuff. Yeah.
Because I saw a video of a professional skateboarder that was in Egypt. He climbed up to the top of the pyramid, got on top, and did a kickflip on top, and got a video of himself doing it. It was really, really
Was he
cool.
caught?
And he immediately when he gets off that last block onto the ground, they beat the shit out of him.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm surprised they didn't kill him. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't kill you though in the same way. It will rough you up at all.
They told me that if I'd posted a picture on Instagram, they would have sliced my butt off.
Whoa.
Let
Weird
me
life.
ask you this question about that, though. When you were in that hour and a half ride to the warehouse, did you have your phone, or they took that
No,
away?
they took my phone right away. Yeah.
And so during that hour and a half, what was your scenario? Were you trying to talk to them? Were you just like, I'm so fucked? Were you?
None of them spoke English
Uh-huh.
in the car.
Uh-huh.
Like
So-
Did you wear a hood?
no. But I
He does that here in the States.
but I will tell you this. I swear to God, that building, people are getting tortured and murdered in that building for sure. 100%. I have no doubt.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Didn't he say it was a 3-hour ride earlier?
Oh,
No,
I-
no, no.
He said an hour and a half.
It was
Okay,
probably
sure.
between an hour and a half.
Yeah. All right.
Did the dolphin jerker collect the semen, or did it just?
He's like, yeah, warehouse, whatever.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
back to
Back
the
to the
dolphin
dolphin.
semen.
Yeah.
No, another.
Did it just go in the water? What?
No, a trainer came with a collected. It was
The
almost
trainer
like
came too?
The dolphin was good. That's good.
a second trainer came with a receptacle, it looked almost like, you know those things you squeeze to icing a cake?
Yeah.
Oh.
It looked like that.
So it
And
was
they,
floating around in the water, and they just
No.
put it right on top.
No, they put them. You know, at the edge of the pool, there's a 3-inch shallow area where
Yeah,
the dolphin
yeah,
can
yeah,
jump up on
Yeah, yeah.
and slide and get a treat and then go back in the water.
Uh-huh.
So
Or
they-
a hand job.
or a hand job, apparently.
Yeah.
Well,
apparently.
that's a treat.
Yeah.
They put Timmy up on that. The second trainer came over with the icing bag and slid it under, and then she did this motion
Oh, with it already on.
with the thing on.
Well, that
yeah.
could make for a very confusing birthday party. I hope they store those properly.
Yeah.
Quickly, our buddy Cal's checking in and said, wasn't that a drunk history episode? But also, Leah says this was an
Ah.
SNL sketch. She said that there was a man on there that had a relationship with a dolphin. And Matthew Bowen just commented and said dolphin milk. So that will be the name of this episode. Probably.
All right.
I thought
also,
it should be
there is.
Tillicum.
Well, the reason that they had the Saturday Night Live thing, and I haven't seen the drunk history thing, but I'm sure people have talked about this, is it's a common occurrence. Like dolphins will Like in Florida, the trainer will sit the woman on the edge of the pier and have the dolphin come up and attack, like amorously, right? And there was also a documentary about a British woman who had sort of a love affair with a dolphin, where she would have to stimulate and please him for
Seems
research.
to me that you know a lot about jerking dolphins off. I mean, I'm just
I don't
saying.
think this is a lie. I think we've discovered a fetish at this point.
They
It's okay.
only do it with male
judge me.
dolphins, though. Because with the female dolphins, like you wouldn't even know when they were wet. Sorry, I apologize
Wow.
at the comedy.
I like that one. I like that one.
That was
It's
a
good.
long way to go.
All right, now on to Bill Dawes' second story.
Okay, I'll try to make this one really fast. Now.
Okay.
Okay, this one is fucking crazier. So I was at Erewhon, not to brag, and
Erewhon is a
is like a health foods. It's like a high end Whole Foods kind of. And there was a girl next to me at the juice bar or whatever, and I got a bone broth with like cayenne, and she was like, "This sounds so stupid," but I took a sip of it, and my lips were burning, and they got all inflated, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I guess I don't have to get those lip injections, and she laughed, so I was like. And I was like, hey, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And she was like, oh no, that's funny. And she was like way out of my fucking league, right? So, and she had sunglasses on, and we started chatting a little bit. And I walked away because I was deathly afraid of her. So I walk out of the store, and I see her there, and I go, hey, nice to meet you. And she turns around, she takes her sunglasses off. She has these like amazing like green eyes, and I get like really, I go, oh my god, I'm sorry, you're so beautiful. And I know it sounds really corny, but like your eyes are so amazing, and I feel really embarrassed. And I kind of walked away like I shit my pants. And she said, "What's your name?" I said, "My name's Bill." I walk away. I don't think about it, don't hear from her. A couple days later, I get a follow on Instagram, and I get a hi, or it was like a hey or a hi. And I go and I look, and she has like 20,000 followers, and everything's like galas and classy and super cool. And I'm like, oh, this girl's like really. I'm like, why is she contacting me? And then I think I said, oh, hey, what's up? You want to come to a comedy show? Whatever. So she did come to a show.
Yeah.
Because that's all the game I
That's
got.
all we ever have.
That's all the game
That's
I
all we
got.
ever say. Come to a show.
And it was it was one of those like great shows. You're like, lie. Anyway, so it was a great show. And afterwards, we talked for a bit. She was cool. She was with a friend. And then she left. I didn't think about it. And then she said, you're really cool. I goes, you want to go to this party with me? It's kind of like a private party. And I was like, yeah, I'll go. And before we went, we talked on the phone a bit, and she kept asking me questions about my life, like where am I from, like what do my parents do. She was really impressed that I went to Princeton for some reason. That was an aerospace engineer from Princeton.
Wow.
And so she was kind of like asking about that and my family, and it was very. I was like, okay, here's a rich girl who's trying to figure out.
You went to Princeton
for
to
undergrad.
study
Yes. So I know you
aerospace?
look at the okay, aerospace engineer. Yes.
Okay.
So
Did you just turn European or something?
What?
Did you go to a university?
No, I was
to
just like
study
that you glossed
aerospace?
right. I didn't know that about Bill.
yeah.
Read
Yeah.
his Wikipedia, man. It's on there.
So I'll
more
wrap that.
impressed
We
with
went to
Erewhon.
we went to this everyone went to this like a little like a fundraiser event. It was kind of cool. I was kind of bored, but we had a good time. I went for a kiss at the end. She actually kissed me. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I'm never going to see her again. This is terrible. She invited me one more time. She said, look, I want you to meet some people. She said, I want you to meet me on Melrose Avenue. And I think it was somewhere between Highland and La Brea. So I meet there literally at night on the street. And she meets me there, and she goes, okay, come with me. We go to this store. I don't know if it's a smoke shop. I forget if it's a smoke shop or... Anyway, we go into the store, and we go into the back. We go through this back door.
And then she's like, give me your phone.
I'm glad this is the quick version.
Burner.
Okay, we go. But this is the fucking weird part. We
Okay,
go through
okay.
this door, like we go around the back of the store. We go into this door, and we take an elevator down. And I mean fucking down. We go like... I mean, I don't know how far down we went, but when we get out, there is like a cavernous space.
Uh-huh.
It's like, it feels like it's like 80 feet high. It's probably like 60 feet high. And I'm like, how the fuck does this exist in the middle of like fucking tobacco shops and stores on Melrose Avenue? And it's literally like, it's not like Eyes Wide Shut, but it's the closest thing I've ever seen to like an Illuminati party that I could think of in my mind. There's caterers, there's food, there's people like women swinging from like aerialists and women in bird cages and stuff like that. People have like masquerade masks on walking around. So I'm like, what the fuck is this going on? And everyone's kind of hanging out and partying. And she's like, don't worry about it. I just want to meet some people. I'm trying to be charming. She's introduced me to people. Then a guy comes up. He has a cane. He's probably about 80 years old. And he goes, hi. He goes, so you made quite an impression on my friend. Her name's Elle, by the way. He goes, made an impression on Elle. I go, yeah. And I'm thinking maybe this is the granddad or something like that. And he goes, what do you do for work? Which is a rare, in LA, people don't really ask that usually. You go, where are you from? So I go, oh, I'm a comic and an actor. He goes, would you be interested in changing your line of work? And I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, you were an aerospace engineer from Princeton. Would you be interested in working? Would you be interested in doing something different, closer to that, a little more stimulating? He goes, you'd have to relocate to San Francisco. And I go, no, man. I go, I'm happy being a comic. And he his face dropped. He goes, really? He goes, yeah. And he goes, okay. And he walked away. And people literally stopped. People saw me say no to whoever this fucking man was. And we're and she came up, she goes, what just happened? I go, what do you mean? He goes, did you just say no to, and I forget his fucking name. Did you just say no? I go, yeah. He asked me if I wanted to work for him. I don't know who the fuck this guy is.
Gerard or somebody.
Yeah, no, it was I think it was Pierre. It was Pierre.
Close.
And I go, you say no to Pierre? And she was like, and I go, oh, okay, yeah, I don't know. I said, he wanted me to move to San Francisco. This job would have been hundreds of thousands of dollars. I go, I know, I don't care. And she's like, okay, yeah, whatever. The party went on. There was weird shit in a room with red light in the back. I didn't see it. We leave. We go home. I wanted to sleep with her. She wouldn't sleep with me. And then I never saw her again. And I was blocked from her Instagram. And I don't know her full fucking name. I've never seen her since. I don't know who Pierre is. But I feel like someone was trying to introduce me to some weird white supremacy, some bullshit let's breed fucking Hitler Youth looking people into some, I don't know what it was.
Super race.
Something where I was like, let's see if this guy's can fit into our weird fucking world.
He doesn't leave a lot of room for questions.
I know. He gives
so
a
many
lot
details.
of information, a lot of details. And they both involve going into cavernous spaces.
Well, so does his, to be honest.
I don't know. That's
Did anything about her hint adult entertainment porn star?
No, not at all. She was super.
Because I do know that there are private masquerade parties, but the guys pay $75,000 a year to be a part of these parties where these adult entertainers come, but they're all wearing masks and it's a whole elite thing in LA.
Yeah.
And she didn't tell you what kind of party she was taking. She gave no information. She's just oh, just a party.
This
no
is the
information.
third time.
Did she ever ask you what you did for a living?
Oh, she'd seen me perform before.
Came to the show.
No. Did she ever know about your history and your education?
Yeah,
she
did.
You there?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had a dossier on you.
I have no idea, but it was the creepiest thing I've ever.
All right, Austin, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. It seems a little unbelievable, but I also don't believe the first story. So
I know. That's interesting.
To me, the most unbelievable part about this is that there's something that big under Melrose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're at Melrose. What area in Melrose?
It was Melrose, and it's between La Brea and Highland.
So you go into donut time.
But you know there's an alley in the back behind Melrose. We went around the back in the alley and we went down I don't know how many feet, and then there was the back door and there was an elevator.
Was the Rock
down
the
there? Elevator
fighting dinosaurs?
No. But it's funny because I remember at one point I swear to God I was like I'm going to see Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. This is a swing. I was this is a weird upscale swingers thing. That's what I thought.
Really?
But I didn't say nudity.
All right. Anything from any of our listeners there?
Matthew Bowen's impressed by the amount of detail both stories had.
Yeah.
But other than that, they're pretty much ready.
And unfortunately, we're out of time. So thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate you stopping by.
I was just thinking though, when you have a girlfriend or you're dating someone, they must be oh fuck, here comes this long ass lie. You know what I mean? That's
was it Occam's Razor? The Occam's Razor, the story that has the most speculations, the least believable.
Right. Mm-hmm. All right, Jordan, let's move on.
I'll make this really quick.
Okay.
I'll make it super, but I love listening to you.
It's not boring.
You're great storytelling.
You're a raconteur.
And the details are amazing. I totally see it, but they're both such crazy stories.
This is really, I'll make it really quick. When I was in college many, many years ago, I lived in a dorm and we had bunk beds that were made of steel and they barely fit into the side of the room. Right, there wasn't a lot of sway, so they were very sturdy in there. And I was at a party, drinking, doing drugs. You know, it was the 80s. It was an experimental time. And I hook up with a young woman who's large and stocky and built, had a good upper body. She was actually on the shot put scholarship to the college I went to.
Okay.
So we go back to my dorm. We have sex in the bunk beds.
Did she put you in a headlock while you were having
No,
sex?
but I start after.
Now I know why he was talking about how sturdy those beds were.
Yeah.
No, this is part
It makes sense.
This is part of it. After even lovemaking, I have no problem going down. So I go down to perform cunnilingus on her. Now this is on YouTube. You could say cunnilingus, right? Or
Oh, I thought you meant this is evidence of this is on YouTube. Like,
no. It's not.
Cunnilingus is hate speech.
This is well before the internet.
Bad cunnilingus is certainly hate speech.
I have to buckle my legs to fit within the bunk bed. And as I'm performing the oral sex, dutifully, I get exhausted and I try to climb back up her body.
What
And
do
she
you
puts-
mean you get exhausted?
Well, like I'm just going to town. I mean, I'm trying to please.
How long does it take before you get exhausted?
yeah, it's a lot of woman to please.
It's a lot of woman to please. So I start to climb back up. Her
I like her
body.
question. How long have you been at it?
No, don't talk
How
about
long?
it.
No, this is many years ago. I'm going to say 7-8 minutes.
7-8 minutes and you're
Oh,
exhausted.
wow.
Well, 'cause I had
Come
been
on,
drinking.
Felicia.
What
How
the
spoiled
fuck?
are you?
So I start to climb up, and she puts her hands on my shoulders and holds me down, and I put my legs
Yeah,
against
she's
the
like,
wall.
7 minutes, bitch, get back down there.
Well, I push my legs on the wall of the steel bunk bed, and I'm forcing my legs against her hands, and she goes, finish, and pushed me all the way down until I satisfied
I've heard
her.
that somewhere before. Like, is she a Mortal Kombat character? Finish her. Finish me.
Finish me. True story.
True story.
True story. Wow. Interesting story.
How old was this woman?
Same age as I was. We were probably 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
Did you finish her?
Of course.
Okay.
And your exhaustion, it must have
Yeah.
been terrible.
Did you ever see her again?
You know what's funny? The next day, this was at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, Virginia. It's a pretty big football stadium. The next day, out of all these people,
She was a linebacker.
She was literally. she was down there on the field. Well played. sir.
Okay.
No, she was like 4 rows over and up from where we all sat, and it was like, oh boy.
And you waved.
I
and she's
waved.
like,
I'm
"Grr."
polite. I'm a gentleman.
Okay.
Wow. Interesting.
Hmm.
Any comments from online there, Austin?
Well, keep in mind that our friend Leah is from Bartow, Florida. So when she says that 7 minutes is an eternity in sex time, her options are not great down there. So she might not know like
Okay, that's fair.
what sex time really even is. Cal Wiggums just said, I don't know, I'm reading it right off the press. I know I'm basically an idiot, but both of these two comics are great liars.
Yeah,
So
High five.
Five.
for sure.
But yeah,
Wow.
so
Wow. But I think there's a difference. It's not 7 minutes of just fucking where you get exhausted, but just by, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
There's
Well,
a
that's a
tongue.
long
There's a
time.
tongue muscle.
Yeah.
There's a jaw muscle
Yeah.
too. That's how you do it, right? That's right.
You need more teeth. More teeth.
The camera.
Why is it called eating out? Duh.
Yeah.
Okay. Michael Evans, do you have anything you want to add?
Well, first I'll add that I'm bummed that any of these stories are not true.
I know.
I know,
This-
right? They're
yeah.
really out of the box kind of stories. I mean, I would have
Mine
never
was actually
thought.
in the box.
In the
Hey,
box.
now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I apologize.
Also,
People.
I'll add that I think even in like regular fucking time, but also in oral sex time, I think 7 minutes is a pretty long fucking time.
Yeah,
This
it
is a
is.
demanding
Really?
broad.
I don't
yeah.
think
Are
so.
you serious?
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm way longer than that. I got to tell you.
Okay,
I enjoy it, so I don't count the minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm.
Well. Anyway.
Just saying. Also, my phone number is
Do you have any questions?
no, not anymore. I asked all mine as the stories were going. I think I've made up my mind.
Can I vote? Can I vote too?
Everyone's going to vote, and so
Nice.
Austin right here is going to do a super quick recap, super quick, and then we're going
Of
to take
bills?
a vote. Yes, we'll start with Bill.
I'm always impressed by your recaps, by the way.
Thank you.
So don't let
Make
me
it
down.
quick.
Good recap.
No pressure.
Make it quick.
He's in Saudi Arabia for a comedy festival, but flew to Egypt and was immediately disappointed. Unfortunately, the pyramids weren't populated with as many white people as he usually prefers. So he sees a brown street vendor who looks like he was stealing something out of a lady's purse, grabs the guy's arm. People freak out. The cop sees his phone and thumb through his dick pics. Then they find take him somewhere to interrogate him and find out that he has pictures
Quicker.
mooning a bunch of monuments around the world. And long story short, they shake him down for a few days. It's pretty much the gist of that. He paid a fine.
Perfect.
Story 2, he meets this lady somewhere, and she ends up following him on Instagram. He slides into her DMs, and they hang out. Later, he meets her at this smoke shop place, and they take an elevator to a cavernous space where an Illuminati guy offers him a job in aerospace because he's better than everybody and went to Princeton. He said no and got blocked by the lady.
I love the little things that Bill slides in. You know what I mean? Wow. All right. I am going to say, should we start with myself or should
You
we
can
start with
start.
okay.
You can
You
start.
know,
You
I
can
have it's interesting you told 2 stories. They're both very long with a lot of information, but captivating in their own way. But I have a hard time believing that someone would especially being a chick, like friend you on Instagram, you guys are talking, you went out a couple times, she saw you do comedy, and that she took you to a party and didn't give you any more information than that or to prepare you. So obviously she was invested in what happened at that party. And I feel like even though the first story, I could totally buy a lot of it. And I had a thing happen to me in Tijuana once where I was put in a car and driven by the police somewhere. And it's kind of scary. So I'm just going to say that second story is a lie. It's a lie because I don't know why she wouldn't give you more information if she was going to pop you on someone that was apparently that important. And I could see there actually being a cavernous room because there's a lot of speakeasies that happened in a lot of the old buildings.
Sure.
So, but I don't know. What do you think, Jordan?
I love the details, too, in your stories, that there was cayenne in your fresh-pressed juice at Erewhon. I mean, that's kind of frivolous, but it was those little herbs.
It was
Yes.
bone broth,
Yeah,
but okay.
bone broth, that's right. But the herbs and spices you sprinkled in were great. The
He
first
brings up
story,
fucking bone broth.
even the recap was
Correct.
longer than my stories
Yeah.
combined. But I got to say that the second one, I've been to some swinger parties, and there was no Pierre, and there was no. I'm going to say the second one's a lie.
Yeah, it's probably just a guy named Hank and some Vaseline.
Yeah, I think the I'm with you guys. I think the second story is a lie mostly because whenever you first met the girl, you said right before you left, you were just like, "Yeah, my name's Bill," and left. She wouldn't have known how to find you on Instagram.
He found her, I thought.
Yeah, but maybe people like
no.
this.
She found him.
I know that was.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She
People in these weird societies, these seem people to be at an interesting level of power and manipulation, right? To have these areas, to have these, let's move you to San Fran
Yeah.
for
I don't know why
$100,000.
she would though think he just by that brief meeting.
Yeah, did
here's
she
another
say?
victim.
Look at him, he's
Did
a
you tell
hunk.
her you were a comic
He's a
at
good-looking
the?
He's a
No.
handsome fella.
Yeah.
In
Dennis
swingers
Hyde.
circles, they would call you a breeder.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I would
Maybe not.
definitely jerk him off in a pool. Like
Maybe they found my dick pic on my, without me knowing.
All right, go ahead, Austin.
Dennis Hyde's chiming in. He said, "You would have been blindfolded if you, as an outsider, were taken to a secret place." And judging by his profile picture, he looks like a guy that has been to some secret places. He actually looks like the guy that
Hey, when
probably
you gotta pay
takes
your
you
rent,
to
you
the
gotta
secret
pay your
place.
rent.
there you go. Yep, I'm on with that too.
Okay. All right.
Austin, what's Austin's vote?
I'm gonna go with his first story being a lie. Actually,
Really?
Yeah, I think most of it is true. But when he said the thing that they said they would slice his butt off,
I
for
know.
the
We looked at each other.
that
We
was
had a
like-
moment. I didn't believe that. That was tough.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes
True.
there's one
Yep.
little step too far that takes me out of it, and I'm gonna stick with that. You guys almost swayed me just now. I'll let you know that I'm
Yeah.
almost on your
Yeah.
side, but If I switch and then I'm wrong, I'm really going to be upset. So,
Okay, that's
All
fair.
right.
let's just
That's fair.
He
So-
said nobody spoke English though, so slice your butt off might have just been some bad English.
We go to
Oh,
slash
that's very
Mike's,
true.
Mike's a good
Very
defense attorney
true.
for
Yeah,
liars.
very
He's good at
true.
that.
And Mike,
trying.
did you make a vote? I'm sorry.
I didn't make a vote. I think I'm gonna go with that. The fucking second story's a lie based on the idea that like remember how they were so concerned about him not posting or sending any of those pictures from Egypt. In the same way, wouldn't those people be concerned about him remembering the cross street between La Brea and Highland?
Because what's to stop you from taking us there right now?
Yeah,
Like,
he's telling the world that this place is out there, this cavernous area underneath the ground. So I guess I go with the second story's a lie.
Yep.
And why San Francisco? I mean, it's so expensive.
All right. So, which story is the lie?
Okay, the second story is a lie.
Yes. Now, was it a
It's
dream?
just my fantasy.
Was it a
As
dream?
soon as a man says bone broth, I call bullshit.
No, I bet he really does drink that. I bet bone broth and cayenne is something you would really put in your lips.
I went to Nova Community College. I never got a degree in aerospace engineering. No,
That's not.
no, that's I did get a degree from aerospace. I did get a degree from Princeton.
Oh wait.
Good job.
And a guy named Pierre, and a cane, his name's Pierre Dumont. He was like the founder of Silicon Valley. He did offer me a job after a wedding at one point to work to consult his engineering firm, and I turned him down. And everyone thought I was the craziest person in the world. So that part is true, but that was somewhere anyway.
Did you make that story up for today's podcast? Or had you told that before in
No.
your popular comedy routine? Or?
Okay, hopefully I don't get killed for saying this. A girl I know told me that she was taken to a place on Melrose and went down an elevator and
so
was
it
in
could
this
still exist. We don't know.
And I
'Cause
remember
she could have been lying to you.
well, I called her before this. I go, I want more details about that fucking party you went to. And she said in person, not on the phone, not on text.
Oh,
my
wow.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
that's
Wow.
Well, if we don't hear from you anymore, we'll know why. Your
All right.
Instagram goes black.
Let's move it on to Jordan.
His first story, he's a director of commercials, works with kids a lot, and he was doing one about fruit cups with actual water in the fruit, starring kids and Timmy the dolphin. He wouldn't perform, the dolphin wouldn't perform, so the trainer of the dolphin had to give him a little hand love right in front of the kids, and then he performed, and they had a great commercial.
Yeah.
Sales skyrocketed.
Yeah. Story
Well-
two. Oh, sorry.
Okay. No, go ahead.
Story two, he's doing drugs at an experimental 80s party back in the day and hooks up with a stocky shot putter. He starts giving her mouth love, but wears himself out on that tree of a woman after 7 or 8 minutes. She doesn't let him give up, forces him back down, basically rapes his face, and they ended up having a great night of lovemaking.
Well, he didn't say that part.
With
But
their
that was
faces.
assumed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, look at it.
Yeah, Austin's optimistic.
You look at him, you go, great night of lovemaking.
First of all, I just want to say, as far as the first story, giving my experience of hand jobs, the dolphin had energy afterwards. It wouldn't want to take a nap, or you know what I mean.
I would say he would be
Like-
able to focus
Okay.
more.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, I'm like, I can't think.
The dolphin is
And
a
then
mighty
immediately after
sea
sex, I
mammal.
can focus on work more.
and prioritize better.
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Because you become,
He's
you
like,
know,
I
you get
gotta,
a tunnel vision.
he's like, I got to do this commercial now. Of course.
Yeah.
You know.
Huh. I'm gonna say I just also don't believe that you would say give up a client like that and talk about kids and masturbating animals in the same story.
Oh.
You mean
You
on
know,
the show? Like
on the
to
show,
come on and
yeah,
share
yeah,
that?
to share that. I think I think that is we could just use this clip against you right now. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna
I didn't even
say-
think of that, actually.
Yeah, so I'm gonna.
I was thinking of the listeners and the viewers for their entertainment value. I'm going to put it
No.
all on the line.
No, now you're fucked, son.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No more fruit cups.
I think I caught him in a lie.
you did.
I think I busted him
Okay.
up. Can I, should I
Yes,
say it
please.
now?
Yes, please.
So whenever he first told the dolphin story, he said he shot the commercial and everything. Then he said it never made it to air.
Oh.
And then just now he said,
Don't give it up. Don't
just
give it
now
up.
he said sales skyrocket.
But that's just an expression
I think
that
it's
I use.
bullshit.
No, that's just an
Oh my
expression.
God.
Busted.
Oh fuck!
And
That
if that's the case, I'm going to tell you, I've only been on the show twice. I busted Chappelle
Holy-
Lacey in a lie too. You got to keep having me back if I'm right.
Yep,
there
that's
you
right.
go. Wow! Wow! Wow!
But that is something I just say as part of my shtick, sales skyrocket.
Okay.
But in the beginning, I did say,
Has
actually,
everybody voted? Has everybody voted?
No, he didn't vote.
You know what?
I
I
gotta
was going to
vote.
say second story because I was like, the second story isn't quite good enough
well, I didn't
to
have
be
much
like
time.
to be like a real story. But now that you said that and his reaction to it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the first story's a lie.
He broke.
Yeah.
He broke.
And you know what gave
I
it
still
away
love
to
you.
me too was like even though I teased you about the 7 minutes and that you were exhausted, like I just remember you back in the day. No one ever said Jordan Brady eats a lot of pussy. So I bet you were exhausted.
I was.
Is that something people say about anybody? Oh,
Apparently, you eat a lot of pussy, Val. Oh, everyone got quiet.
I'm going first story's a lie back here. I'm going first story's a lie.
First story's a lie.
I think
First story's.
What do people online say, Austin?
Somebody said dolphin emoji, squirt emoji, milk emoji. So I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but they're all catching up to the answers now. We're also doing a wellness check on Ken Lofgren because he hasn't been here in 2 weeks. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
What's your vote?
I obviously think the first one's a lie, though.
Okay.
Commercially, yeah.
And which one is the lie?
So the first one's a lie.
Yeah.
The first one's a lie. But I saw the documentary from the 50s
I
where
know,
the
you
woman
do know a lot about jerking
where the
dolphins
woman
off.
jerked off the dolphin, and then I was up for a commercial with dolphins, and I was like, "Oh, this documentary," and then I saw the SNL sketch, which is based on the same, like the time the documentary came out, or on YouTube or something like that. And then I had a bit, and I would act out the dolphin smoking. You know,
back
no,
in the-
like recently doing a stand-up set.
Are you
know,
doing stand-up again?
very rarely.
Yeah.
I've been in remission for a long time,
Yeah.
but I did.
And you're
that
coming
bit.
out with the fucking jerking dolphins.
It's a close.
That's a good story. That's the A material at this point. That's good.
Don't call it a comeback.
The true story on a commercial was the McDonald's client that asked why we couldn't afford a real unicorn.
Oh, really?
Honest to God, truth.
That
Because
is
like the horn
hilarious.
would fall off the
Right.
pony, and she's like, "We have a decent budget. Why couldn't we get a real unicorn?" And I said, "They're all extinct."
Interesting.
Swear.
Wow.
But
Whoa.
no, the dolphin thing I made up, and yeah, the other one's true. And whether it was 7 minutes or 19 minutes, I don't remember. I
She
was
really
young.
did
I
say,
was like, yes, really
Wow,
said finish.
well-
It really did push me. Like I remember my legs
Wow.
fighting.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to fucking add to that, Jordan?
I'm
Okay.
just
Great
like,
visual.
I know.
of him.
I know. Wow. Well, thank you guys for coming on and sharing those really fucked up stories with us today. David Smalley, thank you for coming and co-hosting us, and good
a lot
luck
of
to
fun.
Jessica, who's driving across country.
My aunt's actually going to see her in Alabama.
Oh,
and,
she
yeah.
is.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
go check Jessica out if you're anyone on
Stardome.
here at the Stardome in Birmingham. It's a great club, like a have you ever played the Stardome in Birmingham?
Mm-mm.
It's a really great club. It's like a Vegas showroom. It's a really beautiful club.
Afterwards, go in the basement.
A long elevator ride.
They got people jacking off dolphins down there. It's really fun.
Well, I didn't. I just wanted to plug the club, not say that part, but that's okay. But thank you very much, you guys. Where can people find out more about you or what dates you have coming up?
I just have JordanBrady.com. I got a lot of bullshit on there. I got a book.
Yeah.
I got a book about filmmaking, and I got a hot sauce. I have a
That's
hot
great.
sauce. Yeah, so we give $1 to charity from every bottle sold, broken during shipping, given away.
Oh, cool.
And it goes to militaryfamilies.org. They probably
Oh,
don't
very
want to be
nice.
associated with the stories that I've told. But, it's a great charity, so check out the hot sauce and the boot camp. You can find it all at my website.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And how about
Cool.
you, Bill?
I guess the best thing is just my name and just go on Instagram is Bill Dawes, and you can see the video of me climbing the blocks on the pyramids with the cop whistling. And then on my podcast called The Afterlaugh, I tell the story about being arrested in Egypt as well.
So you did post it?
Hmm?
Did you post it before they caught you?
No, after. Oh no, I don't have a picture of me. Naked. No.
No.
But did I
Oh,
post
just the video of that.
when
They
I
didn't
got
make you
back? Yeah,
delete
just that one story.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, wonderful. And I've been Felicia Michaels, and you can follow me all across the board at Felicia Michaels. And if you have Amazon Prime, please do me a favor and go check out Pervs. That's a documentary about comedy that I
that's
directed.
great. I love that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
It's
I've
wonderful.
been making a little bit of money, thank
Nice.
God.
Do
And
you sell your photographs?
no, I don't, but I'm probably am going to start
They're
that.
really good photographs.
Oh, you're very kind. Anyway, are you going to say the catchphrase or should I?
You go for
But
it.
also, did you say where to find you?
I didn't.
yeah,
I just thought
yeah,
you
go
hated
ahead.
me.
You probably
no.
should. And me too.
No,
She
go
does that to
ahead.
me all
Doesn't
the
it?
time.
No, all my stuff is David C. Smalley. So davidcsmalley.com. It's on Instagram and Twitter.
Michael, I guess you probably don't want to plug your stuff either, right?
I'll be quick, dude. High Five Michael on Instagram. You can find me here every week, and I'm at the Hollywood Improv on Friday on the main stage. Check me out.
Oh, good for you, Michael.
At the
Thank
Austin Walker here. And September 25th, we've got a big show in the Belly Room. It's a
Yes,
Wednesday.
Wednesday night.
That's the late show, 10 o'clock, right?
Late show at 10 o'clock. We have Ngayo Bielam on it.
That's
and
right. And
also
Tim Dillon.
Tim Dillon. I cannot
That's gonna be
wait
so
to
fun.
finally see Tim Dillon. Very funny guy.
Be a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. All right. You guys have been lied to.
Yay.